We don't back down, we stand our ground in the doghouse, where the real are found. No chains, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
Where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just a cold hard truth. We're the ones who bite, and we're waiting for you. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just a cold hard truth. We're the ones who bite, and we're waiting for you. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who fight, and we're ready for you. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight. No bluffing, no running. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight. No bluffing, no running. No running, no buffing, no running. No running, no running, no running. We don't back down, we stand our ground in the doghouse where the real are found. No change, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. No second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who fight, and we're ready for you. When the truth's our ammo, we're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight. No bluffing, no running. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight. No bluffing, no running. We don't back down, we stand our ground in the doghouse where the real are found. No change, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. No second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
We don't back down, we stand our ground in the doghouse, where the real are found. No chains, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
Where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just a cold hard truth. We're the ones who bite, and we're waiting for you. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who fight, and we're ready for you. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who fight, and we're ready for you. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight, no bluffing, no running. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight, no bluffing, no running. No running, no bluffing, no running. No running, no running, no running. We don't back down, we stand our ground. In the doghouse where the real are found. No change, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. No second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound. Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who fight, and we're ready for you. When the truth's our ammo, we're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight, no bluffing, no running. Locked and loaded, the truth's our ammo. We're breaking down the doors, no more shadows in the doghouse. It's all or nothing, we're here to fight, no bluffing, no running. We don't back down, we stand our ground in the doghouse, where the real are found. No change, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. No second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
We don't back down, we stand our ground. In the doghouse, where the real are found. No chains, no fear, just pure aggression. We're here to win, no second guessing. This is the doghouse, time to face the sound.
Welcome to the doghouse, where the strong survive. We're tearing down the walls, no compromise. No filter, no mercy, just the cold hard truth. We're the ones who bite, we're waiting for you.
Are
to the
you
doghouse.
ready to rumble? What is going on, guys? It is your boy, the Doghouse Show. I now have a new background. It is a little wrinkly. I got to work on the wrinkles. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. But as you can see, we got some lights going on over here. Okay. You can see a little bit of, it's a little pink in the camera, but it's actually the light's like orange, but it's being picked up as like pink. Don't know why, but it looks red. It looks blue. It's what I kind of want to go for. A little white. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You'll also may notice that now we have a front-facing camera. Now you guys get to see me straight up and personal. You guys don't have to worry about that, guys. The reason why we were late is because we were trying to stream on TikTok. The problem is that TikTok would not allow me to do it. So I thought it was like, it sent me a message. They're like, hey, congratulations. You can now live stream on TikTok. I was like, all right, cool. Awesome. Only to then try to go in and find out the stream key and all those other things. And they said, sorry, you have to apply. So I wasted 30 minutes for pretty much nothing. But I'm excited you guys are in here. We have a lot to cover. What's going on, Internet Gas? Welcome in. What's up, Miss April? Welcome in. Welcome in. We're going to be going over a few different topics. We're going to be covering polls, not polls like, you know, in a dark room that smells like cigarette smoke and dollar bills. But we're going to be talking about actual polling. We're also going to cover some details about the Arlington National Cemetery and some of the new events that have unfolded there. So you guys are going to really like that. And then we're also going to cover some just miscellaneous things as well. So we have 3 different topics that we're going to go over. I'm really excited to give it to you. I hope you guys have been really well. And here's the thing, guys. If you see any clip-worthy moments, we're really trying to boost our YouTube channel. So do me a favor, if you guys see any clip-worthy moments or something, go ahead and clip it, and we'll ship it and we'll get it posted up on Shorts. Maybe your clip will end up on Shorts. Have you watched Trump Legs? I'm halfway. Yeah. So Internet Gas, that's the thing is like we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it because here's my thing. I have not watched the Lex interview because of a whole bunch of things. We'll go over that in more detail. Why? Because if I were to watch every single podcast that Trump has been on, I would be exhausted and I'd be banging my head against the wall. Don't really want to do that. So let's just jump straight into it. We're going to kind of hit some of the heavier topics first. So let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up over here. We'll talk about Arlington because there's been a lot going on with Arlington. I'm going to start with some of the updates and then I'll kind of give you a summary of where we're at in terms of my opinion on it. Let me go ahead and try to find the Twitter post. Okay. So let's go to the sole web source. Also, guys, I really love this background with this overlay. Okay. I just want to say that I really love that. Okay. So now on to this topic, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Arlington National Cemetery and some of the recent updates that have happened since then. So as you guys may have heard, there has been some pretty crazy news going on where a staffer had been confirmed. I'm trying to remember, guys. It's been since like Tuesday, so it's been a long time. We've had a Trump campaign aide. It was confirmed that they pushed aside a Arlington National Cemetery official. We've also now had recent. This has been confirmed now by the U.S. Army. This has been confirmed pretty much through and through. And as you guys can see here, this was released by Donald J. Trump. It said there was no conflict or fighting at Arlington National Cemetery last week. It was a made-up story by Comrade Kamala and her misinformation squad. She made it all up to make up for the fact that she and Sleepy Joe have blood on their hands for the incompetent Afghanistan withdrawal, the most embarrassing day in U.S. history. They should have been in Arlington, not on a beach or studying for a debate. Thank you to my friends, the great Gold Star families, for revealing the truth. A beautiful day of honor. Could not have been a nicer moment. And there were no fights or problems, only in the heads of those that are destroying our country. MAGA 2024. First of all, here's the one thing. Do you notice what he left out? He left out the fact that this was done, this statement that was confirming that there was a conflict, not really fighting, but there was a conflict of pushing aside, was released by the U.S. Army. Notice how he doesn't release that information. And I wonder why that would be the case. I think it's pretty clear why. Because he doesn't want to shame the military, right? This whole conflict is about the military. So then, here's the full statement that was given out by the U.S. Army. It says, Arlington National Cemetery routinely hosts public wreath-laying ceremonies at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier for individuals and groups who submit requests in advance. ANC, or Arlington National Cemetery, conducts nearly 3,000 such public ceremonies a year without incident. Participants in the August 26th ceremony and the subsequent Section 60 visit were made aware of federal laws, Army regulations, and DoD policies, which clearly prohibit political activities on cemetery grounds. An ANC employee who attempted to ensure adherence to these rules was abruptly pushed aside. Consistent with the decorum expected at ANC, this employee acted with professionalism and avoided further disruption. The incident was reported to the JBM-HH Police Department, but the employee subsequently decided not to press charges. Therefore, the Army considers this matter closed. This incident was unfortunate, and it's also unfortunate that the ANC employee and her professionalism has been unfairly attacked. ANC is a national shrine to the honored dead of the armed forces, and its dedicated staff will continue to ensure public ceremonies are conducted with the dignity and respect the nation's fallen deserve. So, here's the thing to keep in mind, okay? I'm going to go back over here. I want you guys to understand this. Well, let's go into the next story. We'll cover the summary after we cover all the breaking news, the news stuff, okay? So let's go back into this. We also had this tweet posted by Greg Price. In 1999, John McCain filmed part of an actual political ad at Arlington Cemetery and then had to remove it when the Army rebuked him because he apparently filmed it without permission. Guys, here's the ironic thing about it. There is a huge difference between what happened with John McCain and what happened with Donald Trump. There's a similarity and a difference. Can you spot the similarity and the difference? The similarity is that Donald Trump and John McCain both filmed a campaign ad. However, the two differences is one, where John McCain filmed this was clearly not Section 60 because it was not current wars. Now, I could be wrong on that, but it does not look to be Section 60 because it's 1999. Okay, first and foremost. Secondly, John McCain took down the political ad. Trump reinforced the political ad and backed it. That's the difference. That is the difference. Okay. Furthermore, Jim McCain, John McCain's youngest son, has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. I feel Kamala Harris and Tim Walz embody a group of people that will help make this country better and will take us forward. And so I want to take this moment now to kind of summarize, guys, what it is that is exactly going on here, okay? So there's several ways to kind of peel back this onion, all right? I have seen a lot of narratives going around about the Gold Star families had invited Trump to Arlington National Cemetery and things like that. What's really happening is they're trying to do an appeal to authority. Listen, I want to make this 1010% clear. I think that the Gold Star families have a right to be upset, okay? I want to make that clear. However, the arguments that are being levied by the right are using them as an appeal to authority. I want to keep this in mind. So what I'm about to say, we're going to approach this argument first, that they have some kind of an authority on this. They do to some degree. But I want you guys to keep in mind that they do have a biases. They were at the RNC. Some of them were even invited to Congress and gave, and here's the thing. They were invited to Congress to participate in a roundtable, and several of them had some very strong and choice words against the Biden administration, okay? Now, we're going to go back even further. This whole thing started because of the Joe Biden withdrawal from Afghanistan. Okay, so this is kind of stepping into another argument here. Joe Biden was there to greet these soldiers, dead bodies coming off the plane. Okay, he greeted them. He did this for 2 seconds. If you watch the entire clip, it is a 30-minute long ceremony. God forbid he looks at his watch for 2 seconds. Okay, I think that's silly and an absurd argument. Furthermore, you go through news reports, guys, it's actually found out that Joe Biden did, in fact, guess what? Meet with the families. Now, some of the families did not reveal what was talked about at that airbase, but it was made apparent that he did, in fact, meet with the families. He did meet with them very, very early on. He also released a statement a year afterwards to commemorate their memory. And actually, I believe he hosted a dinner. I could be wrong on that, but I believe he hosted a dinner, okay, for those families. Now, let's fast forward. We're getting kind of closer, right? We're getting back here to the crux of the issue. Here's the crux of the issue, okay? A lot of the examples that I've seen been brought up about Joe Biden filming political ads, which notice how they say political ads in Arlington. I've seen them talk about Obama that was filming political ads. There's a key difference here, guys. Trump is a political candidate. He is running for president in the midst, at the very tail end of an election season. This is where things differ. This is where things matter, okay? Joe Biden going down to the cemetery and filming, probably not the best thing to do. Probably could be considered political, but there's enough vagueness there, right? It's undeniable now when you look and you see that they now have made this into an actual political campaign ad, that this visit in and of itself was filmed for political purposes. It has now been given the Trump-Vance seal of approval on these things. So there's no way to sit here and cut this and say that it's not political. In fact, a clip of their ad shows Trump laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. So I wanted to be clear. I have sympathy for those family members who lost their lives, but there's also an important thing to that as well, is that there were about 6 or 7 family members that filmed in this, okay? Various family members, all of which who have been very outspoken towards the Biden administration. But there's a remaining about 6 or 7 other families who have not really spoken out about it. And in fact, there's been family members whose tombs, so there's a soldier that's right next to the photo op, a grave of the soldier. And that family member spoke up and said, hey, I don't think this is really cool. They said, I don't think this is really cool. They didn't really elaborate whether they were MAGA or not. Okay, so I want to make that clear. But I want to say this. You can separate this in a couple of different ways. The families are okay to go ahead and grieve. They are absolutely in the right to be upset. But I can equally say, in the same light, these are not mutually exclusive, that this was political. You can't sit here and tell me and look me in the face and say, with the campaign ad, that this was not a political event. I don't care if the family invited them. I don't care. It does zero for me. The family inviting them means nothing to me. It means that they wanted him to be there. It does not change the fact that this was political. It does zero. Now, do we want to go into the rules and regulations? That's where it gets a little hairy. This is the 3-prong issue, right? This is the 3-prong issue we got here, okay? One is whether or not this is political. It is very much so political, okay? Now, when we get into the legalese and the regulations, that's when things start to get a little more hairy because of how regulations work, how someone has to prosecute them. We don't even know really. This only took place about last week. We don't know whether or not someone's actually going to sue, press charges, or do any of these things, okay? But that issue there is a whole separate issue. I would argue that it does meet that. I think it does meet that regulation, that it is partisan and political in nature, so much so that the U.S. Army came out with a statement even kind of backing that up to a certain degree. Okay. There's also another layer to this that I have not had 100% confirmation, but what has come out is that the Arlington National Cemetery employee was fearing retribution. That was allegedly what was said. The Arlington National Cemetery employee was worried about retribution. So again, guys, when we talk about this cemetery issue, they're not mutually exclusive. The families are right to feel the way that they feel, okay? But there's no denying that this photo op was 100% political. And I want you guys to keep this in mind too. Why might the campaign ad exclude that photo with Trump? There's two situations that happened here for anyone who's unaware. Trump went to lay the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier and then proceeded to go to Section 60, which for anyone who's unaware, Section 60 is where all current war veterans are buried, Afghanistan and Iraq, and proceeded to take a photo with the family. The same section where those Trump campaign aides were pushed aside an Arlington National Cemetery employee. So, why was that photo not included in that campaign ad? Would it be because including that photo from Section 60 would actually violate that rule? I think it possibly would be why. So I want you guys to keep this in mind, okay? There is a way to kind of parse through this. The wreath ceremony is not the particular issue. Okay, the wreath ceremony, time and time again, has proven not to be political inherently. Okay, Section 60 is a whole nother beast. All right. So, anyways, that's what I'm going to leave it with. Is that when you guys approach this, you got to look at it from whether or not the families. There's three issues here: whether it's breaking a rule or a law or some kind of regulation, in which case I think it does, but I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say one way or the other. The other one is whether or not there's a political nature. I think by via them doing the campaign ad, I think by looking at the campaign ad, this was certainly political in nature, just by via way of that. And the other one was the whataboutisms. Whataboutisms with Obama, Biden, McCain, that fail miserably and are not analogous at all. Now you may be wondering, Doghouse, if Kamala did this exact same thing, would you be upset? Absolutely. So I want people to remember this, okay? Our veterans who have passed away and all those members who were included in that photo op with that family did not ask to be included in that photo op. They did not be asked to be included. Trump could have at least, at the very least, blurred out their names. He could have done that, but he didn't. Plain Jane simple, this was a bad look. This was a bad look. So on to the next topic. Pastor from a small town near me was the head pastor for Larry. Pastor from a small town near me was the head pastor for Illyrian Cemetery, and we were able to go visit, and he showed us even into the underground housing of the tomb of the unknown soldier. Yeah, it's a very hallowed ground. There are signs everywhere saying this is hallowed ground. There are rules and regulations that have to be followed. Am I coming at this from a leftist perspective of saying that Donald Trump should be charged? Nah, I don't think he should be charged. I think he'd be silly. Do I think that he was doing this for political reasons? I think so. I think it's pretty evident. Look, guess who? I'm going to say this one time only, because you've been blowing up my Twitter. Okay, I'm going to say this one time only, and I'm not going to address it again. Period. Okay? One, I don't give a flip whether or not the Gold Star families invited him or did not. It means nothing to me. Okay? It's not mutually exclusive, first and foremost. Secondly, it's government property, so you can't deny constitutional rights. That's great. That's great. I would agree. Provide me a constitutional or Supreme Court ruling that refers to this, please. Okay? I'm tired of seeing these things saying, oh, but my First Amendment. Oh, that's great. But First Amendment covers a lot of things that are probably abhorrent, but there are some things with First Amendments that you just can't do. Taking a photo may not be constitutional to you. That's great. You know who decides whether something is constitutional or not, or a regulation or a law is constitutional or not? The Supreme Court. You want to provide me a Supreme Court ruling? Go right ahead. In fact, you would be almost advocating then, let's test it out. Why don't we go ahead and charge Donald Trump with this law violation so that we can maybe test out the Supreme Court, see what they think about this, right? Oh, well, we wouldn't want to do that, right? Exactly. This is similar when I hear this argument to those who get pulled over on the side of the road and go, I'm a sovereign citizen by the Rule 1314 of the Constitution. I cannot be prosecuted. What is your jurisdiction? That's the same argument I get from this. What determines something is constitutional or unconstitutional is the Supreme Court. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about this. Guess who? You can keep on messaging me on Twitter. You can keep on going into other people's chats and trying to say certain things. That's great, buddy. That's all I'm going to say on this. Okay? Government property all the time. You can block constitutional rights. Sure. You can't protest on a military base. Can't protest at a post office. Can't practice your free speech. Yeah, I've seen that too. Retron, about the protest in a post office. There are certain things that you can't do. And again, there are certain limitations. Those who believe in that we have absolute rights to all sorts of constitutional amendments are delusional. We don't have absolute rights on every single one of them. Some limit or another, we have been limited to those rights. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk on to the next topic here. Go ahead and move this over. On to the next topic. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to address this one. This one is silly. Yeah, I'm not going to address Hutch. All right. So let's talk about Elon sharing a 4chan meme. Yeah. Can't process the courtroom. Yeah, you can't do that either. That was funny. I don't know about that one, Internet Gas. You'd have to send it to me for me to see. All right, listen, guys. I'm a little biased here. I absolutely love this background with this overlay. I just want to say that, okay? These lights are way brighter than they look on the camera, but I just want to mention that. All right. On to the next topic. So Trump has been doing a ton of interviews. Okay. He's been doing like podcast after podcast after podcast. In fact, I've got an entire list here. Let's list them out. Where is it? Trump podcast. So far, he's done one with Lex Friedman. That's the most recent one. He did one with Impulsive. He did one with Aiden Ross. He did one with Sean Ryan. And JD Vance did one with the Nelk Boys. I want you guys to keep something in mind. It was not too long ago that the Trump campaign and MAGA itself was saying, look at how Kamala has to get all Megan Thee Stallion and #1 Billboard artists to fill her arenas and this and that. I find it interesting that he's trying to do this interview blitz. And I commented this on X and kind of said something similar, which is, look, if it were any other candidate, I would say this is a good thing. You know, put your face out there in front of the people. Camera, right? Here's the problem. Every time that Trump does an interview, it opens himself up to all sorts of controversy. Again, if he could learn to, think before he speaks, this would be a good thing. But he's not thinking before he speaks, which makes this exponentially worse. So here's one with Levine, and we're not going to play it because I don't know about copyright. But it says, you've been a man of faith. You go to church. You believe in God. Has this further your belief or your commitment? Actually, we'll play it. We'll play it because it's commentary.
You've been a man of faith. You go to church. You believe in God. Has this further your belief, your commitment? And obviously, God, in addition to that chart, saved your life. He has a purpose for you. Do you think about these things?
Well, I think you believe more because when you speak to experts, like my sons who are shooting experts, but when you speak to experts, they said there was no chance that he could have missed from that distance. I think he was hurried. I think he was rushed because people were starting to say,
Yeah, and this is something that I really want to hit on too. So to this particular interview, what I want to say is, I have seen some really, when we talk about cult-like behavior, people have asked me, Doghouse, what is MAGA doing that's cult-like? Well, I have seen people say that God has had divine intervention in Trump's life. Now, look, I will admit, looking at how close that bullet was, sure, that was some divine intervention to some degree, sure. But they've taken it up to a whole nother level, like the next Messiah, okay, that kind of stuff. That's a little weird. That's a little cult-like. Furthermore, I don't know the last time I had seen Trump in church. Just as a side note, okay? I don't know. Not to say, look, you can not go to church and still be a Christian, okay? I get that, okay? We talk about it all the time in church. But I do find it very interesting that I can't remember the last time that I've seen Trump in church. I had a few people tell me that it may have been a couple of months ago for his mother-in-law or something like that. But again, I don't know to what degree that is. Then we have another one. Here's another interview where what's your relationship with God like and how do you pray? This is a whole nother separate interview. And Trump goes, okay, so I think it's good. I do very well with the evangelicals. I have so many people who say they're praying for me. I can't even believe it. They say, sir, you're going to be okay for you. I pray for you every night. Listen, I get it. You know, a lot of people that are religious absolutely will say, hey, I'm praying over you. But guys, this goes to show that we have made political candidates and political figures an idol in our life. The funny thing about this with religion is that thou shalt not have idols. And this goes for, I'm not going to get all preachy on you and stuff, but keep in mind, if you put a political figure into that kind of a regard, are you making him an idol? So I think there's a little bit of irony in this, to be honest with you. Here's a good one. This is another interview. Same interview with Levine, but different clip. Bleach bit. It's basically acid. Again, guys, these are clips that come out from these interviews. Okay. Here's another one. Apparently on the Lex Friedman podcast, Donald Trump said he won't ask to do liberal guy Joe Rogan's podcast and claims he never wanted to, despite many reports that Trump and his campaign have asked repeatedly. Remember what I said a long time ago, guys? I mentioned a while ago that Donald Trump and the MAGA cult have managed to do purity testing, and this is one of those. We saw it with Tim Pool. We saw it with Kyle Rittenhouse, and here it is with Joe Rogan. And it seems that Donald Trump is still a little bit sour about how Joe Rogan had those comments about wanting to go to the Libertarian Party or the third independent party. So that's one of them. I think we got another clip up here. See here. Okay, nope, that's it. So what I want to say is this. Look, again, to kind of wrap this up in a bow tie here, it's okay to do interviews. I get what Trump is doing. Trump is trying to sit there and do interview after interview after interview after interview. Why? Because he wants to draw a contrast between him and Kamala Harris. Here is my opinion. Every time a political figure does an interview, they open themselves up to potential controversy. In this case, every single time that Trump does an interview, he gets himself into some kind of a controversy. Why do I think Kamala Harris should do less interviews, but in better quality? So what I mean by that, make them count. Do less interviews. Why do I say do less interviews? You might be going, what? That's weird. Why would you tell Kamala to do less interviews? It's very simple. The Trump campaign right now is running on a campaign of mudslinging. Okay. If Kamala Harris does more and more and more interviews, what does that do? It stacks up the mud. That's what it does. Gives more mud for Trump to sling. Right now, the only thing he's got is she doesn't do interviews. She doesn't do interviews. And when she has done interviews, okay, it's not enough. It's never enough. Oh, well, you did it with Tim Walz. That wasn't the stipulation. You just said that she wasn't doing an interview. That wasn't the stipulation. So again, this is why I believe that Kamala Harris should do less interviews because it provides less mud, but she should still do some. Some are fine. I would just ask that she do things in a more quality manner than quantity. Focus on the quality, not the quantity. So that's where I stand on this. Kamala Harris should do less interviews. Plain and simple. Do me a favor, guys. This is a moment where I want to pause. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, either during the live stream or afterwards, please make sure that you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. It certainly helps us in the YouTube algorithm. And also, guys, if you're watching this on Twitch or Twitter or anything like that right now, please make sure you drop a follow. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Twitch, also drop that follow. We would definitely like to have you guys returning. We do stream about every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Saturdays are our Political Compass show. Tuesdays and Thursdays are currently our live streaming days where we stream for Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and hopefully TikTok soon, okay? I was not expecting TikTok to cause an issue. And if you guys are wanting to donate in any kind of a manner, you certainly can on YouTube. We can't do that yet. And one reason why we're trying to boost our YouTube channel is because we don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. We are a baby channel in so many different regards. We're working on it. But definitely want to try to tell people, look, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Twitch and you want to subscribe and you want to throw some dollar bills at me, hey, man, not opposed to it. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right, now that Griftathon is over, let's go ahead and go on to the next topic. Here's the Elon 4chan meme. I'll take a look at it right now, Internet Gas. Let's look at this one first because we're kind of getting into some other little smaller topics. Let's take a look at this meme. I'm not going to put it on stream until I see it because I don't know what's in it. I think I know what you're talking about. Autism Capital. Okay, that's an interesting meme. People who can't defend themselves physically, women and low T men, parse information through a consensus filter as a safety mechanism. Oh, high status men. Yeah. They literally do not ask, is this true? They ask, will others be okay with me thinking this is true? This makes them very malleable to brute force manufacture consensus. All right, so we can talk about this one. This one's okay to talk about a little bit. So let's talk about this. I have been accused. I'm gonna get on a soapbox for a minute. I have been accused of being called a leftist. Okay, it's really rich. Okay, let's talk about where I stand on the political compass. All right. For many, many, many years, I have sat here and I have tried to run the middle ground. I have tried to appease both the right and the left. Okay, I've tried doing that. Where did it get me? It got me expelled from the MAGA Republic. Okay. Got me expelled. Got me expelled from the MAGA party. Now, I want you to be clear. I voted. I'll be very transparent with everybody here. I voted for Trump in 16. I voted for Cruz in 18. I voted for Mitt Romney in 13. Okay, we'll go back a little bit there. Voted for Romney in 13. I also voted for Trump in 20. Did not vote in 22. So anybody who wants to call me a leftist, I can't prove my voting record, and I don't need to, and really I don't need your validation. What I will say is this. The Republican Party that I knew just even 4 years ago no longer exists. It is owned and operated by the MAGA cult. That is what the Republican Party is now. Now, does that make me a leftist? Sure. At this point, I'm fine with it. No, Wes, Internet, look, I'll tell y'all something. Here's what I've said before and again. I think that more Republicans should go left. You might be going, Doghouse, you're losing your mind. No, I think they should. I think they should. Why? Because it's a referendum on your party. When you, as a Republican, go ahead and vote for Kamala Harris, you're putting a vote in saying, hey, look, I don't agree with the direction my party's going. And let me be very clear with you guys as well, okay? Looking at Kamala Harris's policies, here's the funny thing, okay? Here's the funny thing about this. I think that Kamala Harris, if you're a Republican, is probably one of the best candidates to vote for a referendum vote, okay? A lot of her policies, even though MAGA wants to try to paint her as a communist, that's cool and interesting, considering the kind of leader that they are worshiping. If we look at Kamala Harris's policies, they're pretty mild, okay? There's been an increase in child tax credit, which Trump seems to have agreed with. You also have the no tax on tips, which people would say that she copied from Trump, and that's valid. You also have some policies that are a little crazy. I'll give you that, but Trump has some pretty crazy policies as well. And honestly, they're so wild that I don't think they would really get passed, right? So what I want to say is this. If you're a Republican and you want to vote for Kamala, best candidate right now you could go for. Now, I want to be clear here. There is a divide in the Republican Party. I absolutely believe that there is a divide in the Republican Party. And that is between moderate Republicans and the MAGA cult. The MAGA cult is like a fire ant hill. You know, when you poke a fire ant hill and they get on your hands and they start biting you, that's kind of what it's like. All right. So what I want to say is this. If people want to call me left, let them. Let them. Because guess what you're going to do? If you are on the right, the last thing you want to do is push somebody who is a moderate Republican to the left. If you want if you want me to be a leftist, sure. Why not? Push me to the left then. Don't try to convince me to come to your side even though I voted the way I voted. You know what? Fine. Push me to the left. Guess what that's going to do? Guess what it's going to do? It's going to make me vote for the left. Okay? Now, I want people to keep this in mind. You might say, well, are your views changing? No, my views are pretty much the same. I'm just taking more of a hardline stance. I try to appease you, the Republican Party. I try to appease you. The whole time I got spat on, I got exiled. So guess what I'm going to do? I'll walk away. I'll go to the left if that's what you want me to do. I tried to walk that line, and it didn't work. So anyways, that's my soapbox moment. I want you guys to know that you want me to walk away, I'll walk away. Just know that you had a chance, you had an opportunity to bring me in, but you've lost me. It wasn't my fault. No, I won't take blame for this. I won't take blame for this. You, the Republican Party, and MAGA pushed me away. You did that. And you're going to continue to do that with every single person you interact with that you purity test, that you sit there and go, you're not right enough. So anyways, guys, that's my soapbox moment. Let's go ahead and jump into some other topics. Yeah, he's stronger than Nikki Haley. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about Nikki Haley and the supposed Democrats that have moved over there. 100%. Exactly, Wes. It's not me walking away. You pushed me away. All right. So let's get through. I'm going to clear out some of these tabs, and we're going to go on to the next couple of topics here. Ironic you brought up Kamala. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what you got here, Internet Gas. What you got for me? Yeah, again, Internet Gas. Wes. Here's the funny thing about this. Miss April said, I'm going to the moon, like Dogecoin, right? That's the funny thing about this campaign is that this campaign is being run so poorly. It's built around mudslinging. It's built around trying to say that your opponent is a communist. Very little substantive policies. I can't tell you the last time I saw, and I have watched a few of the Trump rallies, so I'm willing to be proven wrong on this. There's been very few Trump rallies that I have seen where Trump has actually talked substantive policies. A lot of it has been, look at Kamala Harris's communist policies. Look at Tim Walz and his weirdness. I have not heard any substantive policies. So anytime I hear that, I kind of chuckle at it. All right. On to the next topic. Let's talk about some more joyous politicians. Coach Walz. Coach Walz has some things he wants to say. So let's listen to Coach Walz. Okay. Sorry, guys. You might hear this coming out of one ear, and that is because the audio is just that way. So I'm sorry. Look how relatable this guy is. Look how relatable this guy is, okay? This man is so excited just to be around people. I know some people know exactly these kinds of characters I'm talking about. If you grew up in kind of a suburb and you kind of had that neighborhood dad that everybody kind of gathered around, you know, your friend's dad who was like super cool and everything, that's who this guy reminds me of, man. That's how Tim Walz reminds me. So I wanted to show that one. And now we've got here's another clip of Tim Walz.
Down at Mar-a-Lago after he got elected president. This guy has made it clear how he stands. He's sitting down at Mar-a-Lago after he got elected president, and this was his exact quote. He's talking to a bunch of folks at Mar-a-Lago. You're rich as hell, and we're going to give you a tax cut. At the same time, he was telling workers they get paid too much already. That's who this guy is. You tell me who in Wisconsin is sitting around saying, damn, I wish they'd give billionaires tax cuts and screw me over. Damn, I wish they'd take my health care away. I wish they'd underfund my public school. I wish they would make my job more difficult, more dangerous. And then at the end of the day, I wish they'd make me work till I'm 75 years old. No one's saying that. No one's asking for that agenda. What they're asking for is to be treated fairly with dignity. That's what we have.
And an important note here, guys, for anyone who's unaware, this took place on Labor Day weekend, on Labor Day, actually. Funny thing about that, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance were nowhere to be found. They did not do a single campaign rally. They didn't do anything, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because it has something to do with the unions. I don't know. But they were not to be seen. But meanwhile, Tim Walz goes about it and comes out blazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So then we have another topic here. Again, to go back to what we're talking about with the mudslinging, here's another video of the mudslinging. Go ahead and watch this one. Here's another one.
Hey, work week? You better thank a union member. For the 5-day work week, you better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Now you might be wondering, what's exactly going on with this video? What's so important about this? Oh, that's because she was using a certain kind of linguistic way of talking to her audience. The funny thing about this is, and I don't think anybody noticed this. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I know you can't. I want you guys to pay attention over here. Okay, actually, there's about 4. There's 4 white people in the back. Who is she trying to appeal to? I see 4 people in the background that are white. Now, let's see if we can pan to the audience. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I see a ton of white people. It looks like a bodyguard right there. There's another one. I see a few black people in the background. So when I hear this,
5-day work.
I'm like, who do you think she's talking to? Who? I think this is silly. This goes back to one of those situations I was talking about earlier, guys, where instead of focusing on substantive policies, we're focused about how someone speaks, how they pack their arenas. That's one way. And then, of course, Fox News decided to go at it a little bit as well.
Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is.
she was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that you think?
Same line.
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that you're? I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care. You know what they care about? They care about the economy.
Yeah.
They care about lowering costs.
Yeah.
They care about health care.
Yeah.
That's what Americans care about.
So
That's what they want to hear.
Absolutely.
They care about.
Preach.
Your colleague just asked me about what basically we talked about, went back and forth about democracy and freedom.
Yeah.
That's what they care
I
about. I'm not
agree.
even going to
Amen.
entertain some question about the president. It's just hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it is.
The question I'm talking about, the questions is just insane.
Get him. Listen, I have had some moments where I'm like, that just sounds crazy. Let me tell you something. She is spot on. She is spot on. Okay? She is spot on. So, again, well, they're focused on how her accent sounds. Guess who is picking up that pace? Kamala Harris, who's sitting there preaching how she's going to put food on your table. This is the most insane thing ever, guys. Guess who said, Wes, if you go leftist, yes. You are living in the USA, whether anyone will ever admit it or not, there's still a lot of racism in this country. Otherwise, it'd pull middle matter and neoliberal extremism. Yeah. This idea of like the culture war, not going to win you an election. Sitting there saying that you're going to put food on Americans' tables and you're going to help them get more money in their pockets, that's a winning strategy. And there was quite a bit from a rally in Pittsburgh the other day. And there was a really awesome moment from Kamala Harris. Right here.
Move forward. Donald Trump is trying to pull us backward, including back to a time before workers had the freedom to organize.
He's going to jail.
Well, the courts will handle that, and we will handle November. How about that?
Classy. She didn't start chance of lock her up, whatever. She didn't start chance of that. It's a classy move. People talking about Harris. Is that his dad a Southern accent? I don't even know if there's a Southern accent. I think she may have just gotten excited, but I don't even know. I don't even see the big deal in what she was saying. This one was pretty silly. Here's another Kamala Harris moment that the right has focused on, laser focused on. I think, again, it's super silly. Keep in mind, guys, all of these comments, I want you guys to keep in mind, all of these things that I'm showing you guys, please tell me where any of this really matters to anybody, okay? Let me show you this clip here. I think this one's pretty funny. Just saying, Kamala Harris is completely avoiding the press by wearing headphones. Oh, my goodness. Let's watch this, guys. She really, listen, this is a major, major issue, guys. Watch this. Watch this video. Watch this video. All right, you ready for it? You ready for it, guys? Okay. Oh, look. She's pretending to be on her phone, guys. Oh, look. She's trying to pretend to be on her phone. And here's the thing, guys. I want you guys to keep in mind, okay? This little moment here, first and foremost, the fact she's still using some wired headphones, okay? Listen, somebody rich needs to get her some, like, AirPods, okay? Give her some AirPods or something. But as far as what I'm seeing here, look, if you want to be hyper analytical of this picture, she is near a runway with the jet engines roaring. She's got what looks to be very cheap headphones, okay? She could be on a call. We don't know. And she's probably pressing the earbud to her. Yeah, Retron, that's a good point, Retron, is that it probably could be required. I don't know, Wes. It could be. I mean, what Retron said was perfectly valid. But the interesting thing about this photo to me is anybody who has had wired headphones know how loose they are. And when you have a bunch of wind blowing at you, you have a hard time hearing. So what she's probably doing, it doesn't look like she's trying to pretend to be on the phone. It looks like she's trying to press the earbud in so she can hear what's being said. That's what it looked like to me. See? And then she walked away. See, you kind of saw it there, right? You saw it right there. Look, right there. See how she presses her earbud in? So again, guys, this is the whole thing. When you've got wired headphones, this is a non-issue. No one cares that Kamala Harris is completely avoiding the press by wearing headphones. Spare me the tears. All right. So we talked about that already. We already talked about Arlington. I'm not going to talk about it again. All right. On to the polling. Ugh. Guess who? Walz avoided the press all weekend. That's great. Donald Trump avoided the press and avoided a rally. Yes, on Monday. So yeah, that works. Yeah, I know, Wes. It's the biggest news ever, right? Let's see. So let's talk about polling. Some pretty interesting stuff. He had over 100,000 people around him. Guess who? I'm gonna do it, buddy. Listen. Provide a source for what the hell you're talking about. Provide a source, please. I have dealt with so many people and I've been so patient for so long. What are you referring to? He had over 100,000 people around him. Are you referring to Walz or are you referring to Trump? It was at the Minnesota State Fair. He did it. Wait. Are you talking about he didn't do an interview? Hold on, wait, no. Okay. You want to see this? Hold on, look. I remembered this one. He was at the Minnesota State Fair. Watch this. You ready? Watch. I remember seeing this too. Watch this.
Which I normally get.
Remember, guys. Guess who sat here and said nobody interviewed Walz. Walz tried to avoid everybody, avoided the press all weekend. Yeah. Okay. Let's watch this, guys. Let's watch this.
A little bit more of a disruption, and I'm more concerned, obviously, disruption to the other folks. But it's exciting. I think people are seeing that we're getting to talk about Minnesota across the country, talk about the economy here, talk about things like the state fair, talk about agriculture. That's been really exciting.
Now watch. Before Guess Who comes in, I bet you Guess Who's going to go, well, that wasn't enough. Let's see if I'm right.
How are you balancing managing the state of Minnesota and running for president?
Yeah, I've got a good team on being able to manage my schedule. We appointed 3 great judges last week in Ramsey County, as you saw. Every night we go through all of the decision memos and meeting with the commissioners. I stay updated throughout the day, and I'm in and out. Most of my time is day out and then back in. It's changed from the last.
So there you go, guys. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Guess who? Avoid it completely. So what you just said, I left out the rest. That's great. You sat there, Guess Who, and you said, Walz. You said, where is it? Walz avoided the press all weekend. You said Walz avoided the press all weekend. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a flat out lie. Okay? You just lied. Okay? Spare me. Oh, the press asked him. So you knew then. You're being dishonest because you just sat here. I was there, Doggers. Were you? Oh, you were. So wait, you were there. You then apparently knew that the press asked him. So then when you made the comment that Walz avoided the press all weekend, you then knew it was a lie, but you still proceeded to sit there and spread that lie. Spare me. Spare me. Absolutely spare me. So on to the polling figures. That's not what you said, Guess Who? That's not what you said. That's it. I'm done arguing with you. Okay? Next time, do not bring in something here that you don't have ready to be proven. All right. So let's go over these polling numbers. Average national presidential polling lead, Harris is up by 4.3%. Guys, I understand that we have a margin of error here, okay? I get that. And it does look like she's flattening out just a little bit, but it's not going down. And as you can see, we still have the debate scheduled right here. They're missing one key important thing, that is Trump's sentencing, which, if it goes through, should be right about here, somewhere in here. That can go one or two ways, okay? You can see right here that she's going up. I think if she can hit this 6% mark, I think that she's in a very, very good spot. 4%'s okay. It's not great, though. It is known that this means more of a popular vote than it does with the electoral vote. So 4% is a little bit comfy, but we need to get a little more comfortable. 6% is where you want to be if you want to be singing and running home with the races. And then here's another one. Most Americans believe rising prices are thanks to price gouging by corporations and not because of Harris and Biden. And guys, this is super important to keep in mind, okay? Super, super important is if you look, independent and third party, over 52% of independents believe that price gouging is causing these prices more than the Biden and Harris administration. Why is this important? Because that means that if you want to appeal to a lot of these people on the economy, you need to run on the price gouging. You need to run on this. Trump's not doing this. Trump's saying, drill, baby, drill. We're going to, drill as much as we can. So when we sit here and see this price gouging issue, okay, it's important that we understand that this is what a lot of Americans believe it is. Now, I like how they say this. Voters blame corporate price gouging. We don't know for certain. I know me and Wes have kind of gone back and forth on whether or not this is or isn't price gouging. But the mere perception that it is means that you probably should lean into that a little bit if you're a candidate. And Wes said, let's go. Any price gouging will lead to Venezuela, Pepe, and Venezuela is when no wife. Yeah. We already have price gouging laws in Russia. Yeah, exactly. So Cancel, what's up, buddy, man? Nice to have you in here. This is the thing about it. Okay, first of all, can I just mention how awesome it is to see like the lights blowing up on my arms right here is like red and blue. It's so cool. I love these lights, guys. Okay, $30. These lights are $30, guys. They're like little floodlights. They're amazing. But anyways, and not $30 a piece. I got two of these bad boys. Okay, two of them for $30. It was amazing. Anyways, here's my thing. I don't think it's price gouging that's really causing it. I think there are certain price gouging laws. I'll give you my quick summary on this. Price gouging laws already exist in a lot of red states. Okay, they are useful. And the difference between a price control and price gouging, and we talked about this on the Political Compass, shout out to the Political Compass if you've seen this, is that price gouging means that you can't go up, you can't raise your prices within a certain time frame above a certain percentage. Okay, that means there's no set ceiling. It just means that, look, if you go and, you got a bottle of water that is normally $20 or $2, and then you all of a sudden raise it the next day to $20, well, now that's price gouging, okay? And it would be investigated, you'd probably be fined and all sorts of things. Let's see.
And your mother is voting for Trump. She's voting for Trump.
Yo, thank you so much, Cancel. I really appreciate it. Let me see here. Retron, you said you can't see or hear anything? Oh, wait, was that Wes? Oh, Wes gifted a tier 1 sub. I'm sorry. Wes, thank you. I didn't see that.
And your mother is voting for Trump. She's voting for Trump.
Wes, my man, you have no idea how much that means to me. I really appreciate it, buddy, guys. Listen, this will be the moment where I guess I could sit there and say, guys, if you want to, subscribe, definitely feel free to subscribe. I'll do my little grift now. Thank you for that reminder there. It is 8:30. So what we'll do is, if you are watching this on YouTube or Twitter or anything like that, make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe, notification bell or whatever. Okay, couldn't hear because of the ads. Gotcha, Redtron. So please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. We are trying diligently. Redtron in the chat has been a super awesome editor. He's been throwing out some fire clips as well. So huge shout out to him. And guys, yeah, let's try to get our YouTube up there, right? We can't do anything. Wes. Hey, look, the ads are hard to get rid of, guys. The ads are hard to get rid of. And I try to keep them as minimal as possible. Okay. So, trying to shoot on. No. Look. It's a cooperation. Sonsel is part of our Political Compass show, for anyone who's unaware. Sonsel has been on there, and he's part of that show and everything else. So, hey, it's cooperation, okay? Look, you got to get your money where your bag's at, okay? Tron's awesome, guys. Seriously, I highly recommend him. So here you go. Solo web source. Here's another one. National poll by TIPP. Harris is up by 2%. It says 2%. It's probably a little bit of like a, decimal or something. It says, if the presidential election were held today and the following were the candidates, for whom would you vote? Guys, the reason why I picked this poll, first of all, I don't know why they're choosing these colors. I don't know. I also kind of find it funny that they're painting Donald Trump as pink. I'm sure this was like red, but it's like pink. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. Anyways, if you look, this is what caught my eye. Look at this. 9% of Republican respondents said that they were going to support Kamala Harris. 9% is pretty darn large. I was just going to say the same thing, Wes. I wasn't quite sure, but I was like, that kind of looks a little bit like a familiar flag. But I was like, I'm not going to go there. But 9% is a lot compared to 5%, which is odd. I don't know why 5% of Democrats. But there's another thing too, guys, is look at the independents. That's a tight race. But look at this. We still have quite a few. It looks like about 3% of Republicans that are other or not sure. The other is probably for RFK, who also forgot to remove himself from some of the polls. It's funny. Here's another one. This is in the latest poll from Rasmussen. Trump's favorite pollster has Vice President Harris leading Donald Trump 49-48. 2 weeks ago, Trump was leading Harris by 10 points. So another Rasmussen poll coming in hot. All right, so then now the last bit that we can talk about, guys, is this little bit. A federal judge has rejected Donald Trump's request to intervene in the wake of the hush money conviction. Okay, this is huge. Okay, what it was basically the Donald Trump. Long story short, was that the Donald Trump wanted to get it removed out of that court and put into I believe a federal judge's hands to go ahead and do the sentencing, which was a delay tactic. So that tactic has now failed, which means I don't know what route they go. I don't know if that means that the sentencing goes on, but we're only like a few weeks away from that. It's the 18th. So let's go ahead. The next one we've got is a very short clip. Is this one here?
Don't come here. Don't.
What do you feel about the people here?
Oh. So real quick, guys, I've got something to show you guys. I got something exciting to show you guys. Now, you're probably like, doghouse. We don't want to see what you're about to do. All right, but just hold on. You see this little thing? You see these little things. You can't really see them. Hold on. Y'all see that? So for anyone who's wondering, the doghouse is going to go mobile. We are going to go mobile. So what you're seeing here with this interviewer, we're also going to try to do. We are going to go out and about whenever there is another campaign rally in my area, and we're going to go ahead and do some interviews. I've got 2 lavalier mics. They're like super cheapo mics, but they work right here. Let's see if you guys see that. So there's 2 mics right there. We're going to go out. We're going to interview some people, and we're going to get their opinions. I don't care if it's a Trump rally or if it's a Kamala Harris rally. We're going to go out there, and we're going to ask the hard-hitting questions for you guys. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm really, really excited for this one, actually. I was going to do it with the Beto rally several years ago, but ended up not doing it. Can I have your YouTube replace you? No, honestly, guys, I don't intend to be antagonistic. I really do intend to go and ask true, honest questions. I want to know why people are voting the way they want to vote. Wes, do you need security? I hope I don't. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys this. All right, look, crowds of people. Look, the only time I would be concerned is if I was wearing, like, I'm sorry, Wes. This is like my righty coming out of me. is if I was wearing a MAGA shirt going into like a Kamala Harris crowd. Honestly, though, a Kamala Harris crowd would be pretty chill. But still, I'd be a little more concerned up at that point. MAGA, I'm not too worried about. But I'm going in. I may go and buy, like, just so like I can kind of like fit in. I might buy merch for both sides. I might buy like a "Make America Great Again" hat, and might buy a "White Dudes for Harris" or something for Kamala Harris's thing. But he's honestly boring. Cancel. The thing about it, Cancel, is that I'm having a hard time finding, like, because what's happening right now is Trump and Kamala are campaigning in battleground states, and they're not really coming to Texas. And so I'm hoping one of them comes by and does a rally, and then we're able to do that. But, if I did this as a full-time job, I would absolutely fly out to one of the rallies, but this isn't a full-time job. Not yet, at least, guys. We're grinding, okay? We got the background, we got the lights, y'all can't see it, okay? But in front of me, I got 2 big old lights, okay? We're hooked up. I got the shore. We're making it, guys. We're gonna make it, okay? With y'all support. But anyways, so let's get into this one here. I wanted to show this clip. I thought this was really interesting. Of course. I wonder if you get more interviews if you have a sign or something like "Former Trump supporter, come talk to me." Yo, Redtron, that actually isn't a bad idea. I kind of like that idea a little bit. Got a crowdfund a plane ticket to Arizona, apparently. Right, exactly. Arizona would be pretty cool to fly out to. All right. Here's this Trump rally thing.
Protesting Donald Trump.
Well, I feel like everybody should have something to say.
But
this is a Trump rally. If you don't like it, don't come here to protest. Don't come if you're uneducated and you don't know what.
I like this man's face, yo. This man in the background's like, it's probably not, he's not trying to, but he's got the look in the, like, what? It's probably his natural face, but it's hilarious. But I think this is also funny. Don't come if you're uneducated and you don't know what you're talking about. What? Listen, I have nothing against people who support Trump, but statistically speaking, Republicans are pretty uneducated. So, hot meat kettle.
What you're talking about.
You would rather they just didn't come here?
I would rather them not come here.
Are you a fan of the First Amendment?
Absolutely. You know, the right to bear arms. Look.
She said, yeah, the First Amendment, the right to bear arms. Yo. No. Oh, no. I don't know her name, but I'm just going to call her Debbie. Poor Debbie. Oh, let's watch that back.
The First Amendment?
Absolutely. You know, the right to bear arms. Look, this is...
That's not the First Amendment.
No. The Fourth Amendment.
What do you feel?
Said the Fourth Amendment. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Debbie. Oh, God. Where's Sadie? What's up? Anyways, so popped in the room, so I had to help him out real quick. He popped in the room. But we're about to get off, guys. I don't know of anybody else that's really streaming right now. We are going to be streaming Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully by that time I'll find out whether I have my official TikTok live form ready to go. I'm sorry, guys. We're only streaming for about an hour. We are going to put out some more YouTube content. Guys, if you want consistent TikTok videos, make sure that you go and subscribe me. I didn't know that Dylan is streaming. I'll go ahead and rate him. Let's go ahead and rate him. Actually, I'm going to get him prepped and ready to go. Let's see. Raid. Oops. Dylan Burns. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, guys, if you want some actual content throughout the week. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Thursday. Let me see if Dylan Burns is streaming. Wait, what? Why is it not working? Let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to rate Dylan Burns, but it won't work. Let's see here. Trying to rate Dylan Burns, but I don't see him. Why wouldn't it let me rate him? Oh, it's working. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I didn't see that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again.
Match one.
Thank you guys for so much tuning in. Please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, hit the follow button. And if you are on Twitch, hit that follow button. I will see you guys on Thursday. Show some love to our boy Dylan Burns. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys on Thursday.